Freemium games, a portmanteau of the words free and premium. This term is used to primarily describe a game that is free to play but requires payment to access much of the content. In this case, I will be referring to free-to-play games, free but requires payments to be fun games, and paid games that have a strong emphasis on paying for content to skip time-locked content. All DLC are not completely a part of this definition, but many companies divide key game mechanics behind a paywall DLC, so those will be included. I will be referring to all three of these game types and will use distinctions when needed. Otherwise, the terms apply to almost all of them. Now let's start. While it's true that the games are free, for the most part, and they need money to keep running, the way many do it is predatory. The key example being loot boxes and gachas. Gachas are a Japanese word that's commonly used in toy dispensers where random items are inside the plastic capsules. This is the same principle of loot boxes, where random items are placed in containers for the person to open. These items are technically legal as the items have no value outside the game, aside from black markets. Many times, items can only be accessed through these packages and the attempts require in-game currency to try. But you can exchange physical currency for the game coins to try. Beyond the technically not gambling, there are the time-based items. Many freemium games are either building games or fighting games. Some are a hybrid of the two. These games may have real-time limits on the game mechanics. Example, the house requires 4 real hours to pass to be built, or the character needs to recover for 6 hours before they can fight again. These time limits can be bypassed by using the in-game currency to buy special items to skip the wait. Many of the games make it so that special items can only be obtained by purchasing them. The last major thing is paywalled content. Imagine a fighting game where all the characters use swords and shields, but the in-game store has items such as bombs and guns. But they can only be accessed after playing 1,000 hours in-game and winning 1,000 fights in a row or paying $100 to unlock it. While it may ruin the balance of the game as anyone can pay $100 to easily win the game, the studio and distributors will say that you can get it too, you just need to play the game enough. Now, this isn't to say that cosmetics are wrong and people who buy them are wrong, just that games capitalize on addictive personalities. South Park actually covered this topic back in 2014 in greater detail. Season 18, Episode 14, Freemium isn't free. Not sponsored. The episode goes into detail about how most things rely on the small group of high spenders. With people who purchase items in-game, they fall into 4 rough groups. The minnow buys some items and possibly cosmetics, about $20 to $240 yearly. The dolphin buys the previous items plus a variety of in-game currency, about $240 to $1,200 yearly. The whale buys the previous items plus money time reduction items and accessories, about $1,200 to $10,000 yearly. The kraken buys the previous items plus everything else to max out the items available at the store. Max characters, items, vehicles, etc. any amount above $10,000. While minnows and dolphins are good for the companies, they rely on the whales and krakens to make a profit. These are the people most likely to have addiction problems that can be used to buy game items and any similar products. Short of making these policies illegal, which would impact gambling, drinking, smoking, and other vice-based industries, there's not much that can be done about them. If you or someone you know has an addictive personality, meaning that they are prone to addiction, I would recommend staying away from freemium games like that. In freemium, the mem is Latin for not really. Technically it's minim, which means not really but close enough. Be careful, and now you know about freemium games.